Captain Hyunwoo walked into the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. His boots made soft sounds on the smooth floor. The hall was huge. It stretched high above him like a cathedral. Strange lights floated in the air. They came from worlds he had never seen. Around him sat the representatives of 20 different alien species. Each one thought they were better than humans. Hyunwoo was a tall man with dark hair and tired eyes. He had been traveling for 3 months to get here. Earth had sent him with one simple message. Stop taking what is ours. Stop treating humans like animals. Stop ignoring our voices. But he knew they would not listen. They never did. The council leader was a creature called Vex. He had 4 arms and skin like blue metal. His eyes glowed yellow. When he spoke, his voice sounded like grinding stone. He looked down at Hyunwoo and smiled. It was not a kind smile. You may speak human, Vex said. We have given you 5 minutes. Do not waste our time. Hyunwoo took a deep breath. He looked at each member of the council. Some looked bored. Others looked amused. None of them looked worried. That would change soon enough. For 50 years you have taken from Earth, Hyunwoo began. His voice was calm but hard. You take our water. You take our metals. You take our people for your experiments. We have asked you to stop. We have begged you to stop. You ignore every message. You break every promise, one of the aliens laughed. It sounded like glass breaking. Others joined in. The sound filled the hall. Hyunwoo did not move. He waited for them to stop. Human emotions, said a creature with too many eyes. So dramatic. So pointless. You should be grateful we even notice your little world. We are done being grateful, Hyunwoo said. This is your final warning. Leave our system. Stop taking our resources. Treat us as equals, or there will be consequences. The laughter stopped. For a moment, the hall was silent. Then Vex leaned forward. His yellow eyes burned brighter. Consequences? Vex repeated. You threaten us. You who have barely left your own moon? You who fight with metal bullets and chemical rockets? You dare to speak of consequences to species who have ruled the stars for millennia? Hyunwoo reached into his coat. Every guard in the room raised their weapons. Energy rifles hummed with power. Targeting lasers painted red dots on his chest. Hyunwoo moved slowly. He pulled out a small black cube. It was no bigger than his fist. He placed it on the floor between himself and the council. This is a data core, he said. It contains everything. Every violation you have committed. Every human you have taken. Every resource you have stolen. Every lie you have told. It is being broadcast to every planet in the galaxy right now. Everyone will know what you have done, Vex waved one hand. Words and data, they mean nothing. The strong do what they want. The weak suffer what they must. This is the way of the universe. Maybe, Hyunwoo said. But you should ask yourself one question. What if we are not weak? More laughter. Louder this time. The aliens thought this was the funniest thing they had ever heard. A human claiming to be strong. Claiming to be dangerous. It was absurd. Your entire military could not defeat one of our frigates, said another council member. She had wings and spoke with a voice like singing. We have weapons that can crack planets. We have ships that move faster than light. What do you have? Patience, Hyunwoo said quietly. We have patience. And we have been very, very patient. He turned to leave. The guards moved to stop him, but Vex raised a hand. Let the human go. Let him run back to his little world and cry to his leaders. It did not matter. They would crush Earth soon enough. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Whenever they felt like it. Hyunwoo walked back through the long halls of the council building. His hands did not shake. His heart did not race. He had done what he came to do. He had given them a choice. They had made their decision. His ship was waiting in the docking bay. It was small and old. The aliens let him dock because they did not see him as a threat. They were wrong about that. They were wrong about many things. Soon they would learn just how wrong they were. As Hyunwoo's ship lifted off, he opened a secure channel. Back on Earth, someone was waiting for his call. Commander Nari answered immediately. She was younger than Hyunwoo. She had short black hair and sharp eyes. She stood in the command center of humanity's orbital defense station. Behind her, screen showed stars and empty space. But the space was not really empty. How did it go? Nari asked. As expected, Hyunwoo said. They laughed. Nari nodded slowly. She had known they would. Everyone had known. But they had to try. They had to offer peace one last time. Now that time was over. Then we moved to the next phase, Nari said. Yes, Hyunwoo agreed. Alert all stations. Wake up the fleet. It is time. On her screens, Nari could see them now. Thousands of them. Ships that had been sleeping in the dark between stars. Ships that had been waiting for this moment. They had been there for years. Hidden. Silent. Watching. The aliens thought humans only had a few dozen ships. They thought Earth was defenseless. They were about to learn the truth. Nari pressed a button. Across human space, lights began to turn on. Engines began to warm up. Weapons began to charge. Soldiers who had been waiting in the dark began to wake up. They had trained for this. They had prepared for this. They were ready. The Galactic Council thought they had won. They thought the conversation was over. They thought they had put the humans in their place. They were gathering their fleets even now. Soon they would come to Earth. They would show these primitives what real power looked like. But humanity had known this day would come. They had known it for decades. While the aliens laughed and took what they wanted, humans had been building. They had been planning. They had been learning. Every stolen ship had taught them something. Every captured human who escaped had brought back knowledge. Every insult had made them stronger. The galaxy thought it knew what humans were. Weak, primitive, emotional, easy to control. But they had never seen humans at war. They had never seen what humans became when they were pushed too far. They had never learned the most important lesson about humanity. Humans did not start fights, but they always finished them. The Galactic Assembly met 3 days after Hyunwoo left. The Great Chamber was full. Representatives from 100 worlds gathered to discuss the human problem. Most of them had never thought about humans before. Earth was just another primitive world on the edge of known space. But now the humans had made demands. Now they had threatened the Council. This could not stand. Commander Nari watched the assembly meeting from her station. Human intelligence had hacked their broadcast years ago. The aliens did not know this. They thought their communications were secure. They were wrong about that too. Nari sat in her command chair. Around her, dozens of officers worked at their stations. The orbital defense platform was the size of a small city. It floated above Earth like a guardian angel, but it was not alone. 7 more platforms circled the planet. Each one bristled with weapons the aliens had never seen before. On the main screen, Vex was speaking. His voice filled the assembly chamber. The humans have become bold, he said. They believe they can challenge us. They believe they can make demands of their betters. We must teach them their place. We must show them what happens when primitives forget where they stand in the order of things. The assembly erupted in agreement. Voices filled the air. Some wanted to blockade Earth. Others wanted to take more humans for study. A few suggested destroying a city or two as a warning. They argued about which punishment would be best. They argued about how to divide Earth's resources after they crushed human resistance. Not one of them suggested peace. Nari watched with cold eyes. She was not surprised. Humans had known this would happen. They had predicted every word, every argument, every decision. The aliens were predictable. They always chose force. They always chose domination. They never learned. Record everything, Nari told her communications officer. Make sure every word is saved. When this is over, the galaxy will know who started this war. The vote came quickly. The assembly decided to send a fleet to Earth, a big fleet. 300 ships, enough to destroy any defense the humans might have, enough to reduce Earth's cities to ash, enough to make an example that would echo through the galaxy for 1,000 years. They gave the fleet a simple order. Go to Earth, destroy their military, take their leaders, make them bow, and if they refuse to bow, make them disappear. The assembly cheered. They thought this was justice. They thought this was order. They thought they were teaching the humans a lesson. They did not know they had just made the biggest mistake in galactic history. Nari closed the broadcast. She stood up from her chair. Around her, the command center was busy. Officers were running final checks. Weapons were being armed. Shield generators were powering up. Everything was ready. How long until they get here? She asked. 2 weeks, her tactical officer said. Maybe less if they push their engines hard, 2 weeks. Nari nodded. That was enough time. Enough time to make sure everything was perfect. Enough time to position every ship. Enough time to check every weapon. Enough time to say goodbye to the people they loved. Because after today, nothing would be the same. She opened a channel to Earth Command. Fleet Admiral Yuna appeared on her screen. Yuna was older than Nari. She had gray in her hair and scars on her hands. She had fought in the border skirmishes. She had lost friends to alien raiders. She had spent 30 years preparing for this moment. They chose war, Nari said. I know, Yuna replied. I was watching. 300 ships. They think that is enough. Is it? Nari asked. Yuna smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator who had been hiding in the shadows for far too long. Not even close, she said. Across human space, the preparations began. Ships that had been dark for years came to life. Crews that had been training in secret moved to their stations. Weapons that had been hidden in asteroid fields began to power up. The aliens thought they knew where all the human ships were. They had been tracking them for decades. They had no idea. In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, a mining station started moving. It was not really a mining station. It had never been a mining station. It was a weapons platform, one of 50. Each one had been built in secret. Each one had been waiting for this day. On the far side of the moon, hangar doors opened. Thousands of fighters poured out. They were small and fast. The aliens had never seen anything like them. They would learn about them soon enough. Deep in the ice of Europa, submarine docks emptied. Ships designed to move through both water and space emerged. They were hunters. Silent. Deadly. Perfect for ambushes. Engineer Taiyang worked in his lab deep beneath Earth's surface. Around him, his team made final adjustments to their greatest creation. It was a weapon unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Taiyang had been working on it for 15 years. His hand shook as he ran the final tests. Will it work? His assistant asked. It has to, Taiyang said. Everything depends on it. The weapon was based on alien technology. Technology that humans had stolen, studied, and improved. The aliens thought they were the masters of science. They thought no primitive species could understand their advanced systems. But humans had a gift for understanding things, for taking them apart, for making them better. Taiyang had taken their shield technology and reversed it. Instead of protecting a ship, his weapon would tear it apart from the inside. One shot could cripple a battleship. 10 shots could destroy a fleet. The aliens would not know what hit them. He loaded the weapon data into the fleet's targeting computers. Every ship would have access to it. Every captain would know how to use it. The aliens had given humans the tools to destroy them. They just did not know it yet. Back in orbit, Nari received reports from across the system. Every station was ready. Every ship was armed. Every soldier knew their job. Years of planning were about to pay off. Decades of preparation were about to be tested. She thought about the families below, the children playing in parks, the people going to work, the elderly sitting in gardens. They did not know what was coming. They did not know that an alien fleet was on its way to destroy everything they loved, but they would be safe. Nari would make sure of that. Every human in the fleet would make sure of that. Because that was what humans did. They protected their own. They fought for their homes. They died for their families. The aliens were coming with 300 ships. They thought that was overwhelming force. They thought it was more than enough. They were so confident that they were already celebrating their victory. They should have brought more ships. They should have listened. The alien fleet arrived exactly 14 days later. 300 warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of Earth's solar system. They were massive. Each ship was the size of a small city. Their hulls gleamed in the distant sunlight. Energy shields flickered around them like soap bubbles. Fleet Commander Krell stood on the bridge of the flagship. He was a veteran of 100 battles. He had conquered 12 worlds. He had never lost a fight. Today would be no different. He looked at the blue planet on his main screen and smiled. How many ships do the humans have? He asked. Scanners show 42 vessels, his tactical officer replied, all clustered around their homeworld. Primitive designs, weak shields, outdated weapons, Krell laughed. 42 against 300. This will be over before lunch, signaled the fleet. We advance in formation. Weapons free. Show no mercy. The alien fleet began moving toward Earth. They moved slowly. There was no need to hurry. The humans were trapped. There was nowhere to run. Krell wanted them to see death coming. He wanted them to feel fear. On Earth's orbital defense station, Nari watched them come. Her face was calm. Her hands were steady. Around her, the command center was silent. Everyone was waiting. Waiting for her order. Distance? She asked quietly. 5 million kilometers in closing, her tactical officer said. Let them come closer. Wait for my mark. The minutes stretched out. The alien fleet kept advancing. Krell was feeling good. The humans were not even trying to run. They were just sitting there, waiting to die. This would be easier than he thought. 3 million kilometers, Nari's officer said. Hold. 2 million kilometers. They are charging weapons. Hold. 1 million kilometers. They are targeting our platforms. Nari took a deep breath. This was it. The moment everything changed. She pressed a single button on her command console. All units. Execute Protocol Awakening. Show them what we really are. Space exploded with light. All around the alien fleet, ships appeared. Not 42 ships. Not 100 ships. Thousands of ships. They had been there all along. Hidden in the darkness, cloaked by technology the aliens did not know humans possessed. Small fighters, fast destroyers, heavy cruisers, battle stations, weapons platforms. They surrounded the alien fleet completely. On his bridge, Krell stared at his screens in shock. His mouth hung open. His tactical display showed red contacts everywhere. Thousands of them. How was this possible? Where had they come from? The humans were supposed to be primitive. They were supposed to be weak. Sir, his tactical officer shouted. New contacts appearing all around us. Thousands of ships. Our scanners did not detect them until now. That's impossible, Krell whispered. A transmission came through. It was from one of the human ships. Commander Nari's face appeared on his screen. She looked directly at him. Her eyes were cold as ice. You were warned, she said. You chose war. Now you will learn what that means. The human fleet opened fire. Engineer Taeyang's weapon proved its worth in the first 10 seconds. Beams of focused energy lanced out from human ships. They passed through alien shields like they were not there. The shields flickered, sparked, died. Inside the alien ship's systems began failing. Engines stuttered. Weapons misfired. Life support started shutting down. The aliens tried to return fire. Their weapons were powerful. When they hit, human ships took damage. Shields failed. Hull plating melted. Some ships exploded. But for every human ship destroyed, 10 alien ships went dark. The mathematics were simple. The humans had more ships, better weapons, and they were not scared. Pilot Minho led a squadron of fighters through the chaos. His ship was small and fast. It twisted between the massive alien warships like a bird between trees. His weapons traced lines of fire across enemy hulls. Behind him, 50 other fighters followed his lead. Target their engine ports, Minho called over the squadron channel. Disable them. We want prisoners. We want their ships intact. His targeting computer locked onto an alien cruiser. He fired. The shot was perfect. It hit exactly where the ship's engine met its power core. The cruiser shuddered. Its engines died. It began to drift, powerless and helpless. All across the battlefield, the same scene played out. Human pilots struck with precision. They knew exactly where to hit, exactly how to disable without destroying. Every captured alien ship was another source of intelligence, another piece of technology to study, another weapon to turn against its makers. Krell watched his fleet die. Ship after ship went dark. His officers shouted reports. None of them were good. They had lost 200 ships in the first hour. 200, against an enemy they had thought was primitive. Retreat, he finally screamed. All ships retreat. Get us out of here. But the humans had planned for that too. As the alien ships tried to turn around, tried to run, they found their path blocked. More human ships appeared. These were different, bigger, heavier. They formed a wall of steel and fire. Nothing was getting through. Admiral Yuna's voice came over the open channel. Every ship in the system could hear her, human and alien alike. You came here to destroy us, she said. You came here to teach us a lesson, to put us in our place. Now you will learn your own lesson. Humanity does not start wars, but we finish them, always. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, not a single alien ship escaped. 73 were destroyed completely. The rest were captured, disabled, their crews taken prisoner. The aliens who had come to crush Earth were now helpless, floating in space, waiting for humans to decide their fate. The human fleet had lost ships too. 47 destroyed, 100 more damaged, but they had won. Against an enemy that outnumbered their visible fleet 7-1, they had won. On her station, Nari allowed herself to breathe. Her hands were shaking now. The battle was over. Earth was safe. For now. But this was just the beginning. News of the battle would spread. The galaxy would learn what happened here. And then the real war would begin. 6 months after the Battle of Crossroads, the Galactic Council met again. The Great Chamber looked the same. The floating lights still danced in the air. The representatives still sat in their designated places. But everything had changed. The chamber was quiet. No one laughed. No one joked. No one spoke of human primitives anymore. They sat in silence and waited. Waited for the humans to arrive. Waited to learn their fate. Vex sat in his seat. The council leader looked older now. His blue skin had lost its shine. His yellow eyes were dim. He had lost everything in the war. His fleet, his reputation, his certainty that the universe worked the way he thought it did. The doors opened. Everyone turned to look. Diplomat Hana walked in. She was young, maybe 30 years old. She wore simple clothes. Black pants, white shirt. No weapons, no guards. She walked alone down the long hall toward the council. Her footsteps echoed in the silence. She was not like Captain Hyunwoo. He had been a soldier, hard, direct, angry. Hana was different. She smiled as she walked. Not a cruel smile. Not a victorious smile. Just a simple, genuine smile, like she was meeting old friends. That smile scared them more than any weapon. Hana stopped in the center of the chamber. She looked around at all the representatives. Took her time, met each set of eyes. Some looked away. Others stared back with fear. A few with hate. She saw it all. Understood it all. "Hello," she said. Her voice was soft, friendly. "Thank you for agreeing to meet with me. I know these past months have been difficult for everyone. I am here to discuss peace terms." Vex leaned forward. "Peace terms? You mean your demands? Your conditions for our surrender?" "No," Hana said. "I mean peace. Real peace, not submission. Not slavery, not revenge. Just peace, silence." The council members looked at each other. This was not what they expected. They had prepared for demands, for humiliation, for punishment. But peace? Simply peace? "I do not understand," said the representative from the Varix Empire. "You won. You destroyed our fleets. You proved your strength. By galactic law, you can claim our worlds, take our resources, make us serve you. Why would you offer peace?" Hana pulled out a small device. She pressed a button. Holographic images appeared in the air above her. They showed Earth, beautiful blue oceans, green continents, white clouds, cities full of people living their lives. "This is what we fought for," she said. "Not conquest, not domination, not revenge. We fought to protect this, to keep it safe, to keep our families safe. That is all we ever wanted. That is all we still want." She pressed another button. The images changed. Now they showed the battles, the destroyed ships, the dead crews, both human and alien, the cost of war. "We lost people too," Hana said quietly. "Thousands of them. Sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, friends, lovers, heroes. They died fighting. They died protecting Earth. We mourn them. We will always mourn them. But we do not want more death. We do not want more war." She looked directly at Vex. "You were right about one thing. The strong do what they want. The weak suffer what they must. We proved we are strong. Strong enough to destroy you all if we choose. But we choose something else. We choose to be better." Hana produced a document. It was written on real paper. Old-fashioned. Human tradition. She placed it on the floor in front of the council. "These are our terms," she said. "They are simple. 1. All species recognize humanity as equals. No more exploitation. No more slavery. No more treating us like primitives. 2. Earth's solar system is sovereign territory. No alien ships enter without permission. 3. We share our technology. You teach us. We teach you. We grow together instead of fighting. 4. We establish fair trade. Resources are exchanged, not stolen. 5. We create a mutual defense pact. If any species is attacked unjustly, we all respond together." The council members whispered among themselves. These terms were not harsh. They were not cruel. They were almost generous. Too generous. "It had to be a trick. What about reparations?" asked one representative. "What about punishment for those who started the war?" "No reparations," Hana said. No punishments. We all made choices. We all paid the price. The war is over. We move forward or we die together. The choice is yours. Vex stood up slowly. His forearms trembled. Why? He asked. Why offer us mercy? We would not have been merciful to you. I know, Hana said. That is why we are different. That is why we will survive when you would have fallen. Cruelty breeds rebellion. Mercy breeds loyalty. We do not want subjects. We want partners, friends, allies, she smiled again. Besides, we learned something important from this war. The galaxy is big, very big, and it is dangerous. There are threats out there we have not met yet. Species more powerful than us, maybe more powerful than all of us combined. If we fight each other, we all lose. If we work together, we all survive. The council discussed for hours. Some wanted to accept immediately. Others were suspicious. A few still wanted to fight. But in the end, they voted. The terms were accepted, unanimously. Hana shook hands with each council member. Human tradition. Some of them did not know what to do. They had never touched a human before, never spoken to one as an equal. It felt strange, uncomfortable, but also right. As she left the chamber, Vex called out to her, Human. Hana, will you ever tell us the truth? About how you prepared for war? About where all those ships came from? Hana paused, looked back. Maybe someday, when we are truly friends, when we trust each other. But not today. Today we need some secrets, some deterrence, so that no one makes the same mistake you did. She left. The council sat in silence. They had learned a lesson, a painful lesson. Humanity was not weak, not primitive, not inferior. They were something else, something the galaxy had never seen before. They were clever, patient, determined. They planned ahead. They prepared for war while talking peace. They hid their strength until the perfect moment. They fought with precision and purpose, and when they won, they offered mercy. The galaxy had pushed humanity, tested them, tried to break them, and humanity had pushed back, hard. They had shown the stars what humans really were, not primitive animals, not weak creatures to be exploited, but a species that would stand its ground, that would fight for what was right, that would protect what was theirs. And most importantly, they had shown that strength was not just about weapons and ships. It was about knowing when to fight and when to offer peace, about having the power to destroy but choosing to build instead. Back on Earth, Admiral Yuna watched Hana's speech from her office. She smiled. The young diplomat had done well, better than well, perfect. Commander Nari stood beside her. Do you think it will last? The peace? Yes, Yuna said. For a while at least. They are afraid of us now. And fear is a powerful teacher. They will remember this war. They will remember what happened when they pushed us, and they will think twice before pushing again. And when they forget, when the fear fades, Yuna turned to look at the stars through her window. By then, we will be friends. Real friends. We will have built something together. Something worth protecting, and we will protect it, together. The war was over. The peace had begun. Humanity had warned the stars. The stars had not listened, but now they understood. And the galaxy would never make that mistake again. The galaxy learned about Earth's victory within hours. The Data Corps Captain Hyun Woo had left with the Council broadcast everything. Every moment of the battle, every alien ship destroyed, every proud fleet reduced to floating wreckage. The recording went to every planet, every station, every ship in known space. The reactions were immediate and varied. Some species were shocked. Others were terrified. A few were impressed. But 3 empires were furious. They had lost ships in the battle. Lost crews. Lost pride. They demanded revenge. The Varix Empire, the Talon Collective, the Crimson Sovereignty. Each one ruled dozens of worlds. Each one commanded thousands of ships. Each one believed they were superior to all other life. And each one wanted Earth destroyed. They formed an alliance, something that had never happened before. 3 empires, ancient enemies, united by a common goal: crush the humans, make them pay for their arrogance, show the galaxy that challenging the old powers was death. Within 2 weeks, they gathered their forces, 5,000 ships, the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history. They would not make the same mistake as Krell. They would not underestimate the humans. They would bring overwhelming power. They would turn Earth into dust. On Earth, Admiral Yuna watched the fleet gather. Her intelligence network was good, very good. She knew exactly how many ships they had. She knew their weapons, their tactics, their commanders. Knowledge was power, and humanity had been gathering knowledge for a long time. 5,000, she said to her command staff. They are serious this time. Can we stop them? Commander Nari asked. She had been promoted after the first battle. Now she commanded Earth's entire defense fleet. Yuna smiled. Stop them? No, we are going to do something better. We are going to break them. She activated a star map. It showed the route the alien fleet would take to reach Earth. 3 systems stood between them and humanity's homeworld. Each system looked empty. Just rocks and ice and empty space, but they were not empty. We have had 20 years to prepare, Yuna said. 20 years to build. 20 years to plan. They think they are bringing an overwhelming force. They have no idea what is waiting for them. The first system was called Hades. It was a dead system. No planets. Just asteroids and radiation. The alien fleet entered it confidently. Their scanners showed nothing. No ships, no weapons, no threats. They moved through quickly, eager to reach Earth. Then the asteroids started moving. They were not asteroids. They were weapons platforms. Hundreds of them. Each one had been disguised, covered in rock and ice, invisible to scanners. They had been waiting in the cold and dark for years. Waiting for this moment, they opened fire all at once, missiles, energy weapons, railguns that fired metal at a fraction of light speed. The alien fleet was caught completely by surprise. Ships exploded. Shields collapsed. Formations broke apart in chaos. Pilot Minho led his squadron through the carnage. His orders were simple. Hit and run, strike hard, disappear, make them afraid. His fighters emerged from the asteroid field like sharks from deep water. They fired, killed, vanished. The aliens could not track them, could not predict them, could not stop them. Human pilots moved like nothing the aliens had ever seen. Fast, precise, deadly. How are they doing this? Screamed the Varix fleet commander. Where are they coming from? His tactical officer had no answers. The humans were everywhere and nowhere. Every time they locked onto a target, it was gone. Every time they fired, they hit empty space. But the human weapons always found their mark. The aliens lost 300 ships in Hades. 300 ships destroyed or crippled before they even reached the second system. But they pressed on. They had to. They had come too far. Committed too much. Retreat now would mean humiliation. The second system was called Forge. It was an industrial system. Humans had been mining there for decades. The aliens expected defenses. Maybe a few stations. Some mines. Nothing serious, they were wrong. The entire system was a trap. Every mine was a weapon. Every station was a fortress. Every piece of industrial equipment had been converted to military use. The humans had turned their workplace into a killing ground. Engineer Tai Yang watched from his command ship. He had helped design the defenses here. Years of work. Years of testing. Now he would see if it was enough. Activate the grid, he ordered. Around the alien fleet, space itself seemed to tear apart. Energy fields appeared. They formed a cage. A massive cage that surrounded the entire fleet. The aliens could not move. Could not jump to faster than light. They were trapped. Then the mines activated. Thousands of them. They had been floating in the system for years. Disguised as debris. As ice, as rocks. Now they came alive. They flew toward the alien ships like angry hornets. The aliens fought back desperately. Their point defense systems fired constantly. They destroyed hundreds of mines, but there were thousands. And the mines were smart. They learned, adapted, found ways through the defenses. When a mine hit an alien ship, it did not just explode. It burrowed. It dug through the hull like a living thing, found critical systems, destroyed them. Each mine was a precision weapon. Each hit was devastating. The battle in Forge lasted 3 days. When it was over, the alien alliance had lost another 1,000 ships. Their fleet was half its original size. Their commanders were panicking. Their crews were terrified, but they pushed forward. Because they had no choice. Going back meant admitting defeat, meant accepting that humans were their equals, meant changing everything they believed about the universe. The third system was called Crossroads. It was the last stop before Earth. The aliens expected more tricks, more traps, more invisible weapons. They were ready this time, or they thought they were. Commander Nari was waiting for them. Her fleet was not hiding this time. It sat in open space, visible, proud, defiant. 2,000 human ships in perfect formation, weapons charged, shields at maximum, ready for battle. The aliens saw them and felt relief. Finally, a real battle. No tricks, no ambushes, just force against force. This they understood. This they could win. They charged. The battle was brutal. Ship to ship, weapon to weapon. Both sides fought with everything they had. Space filled with fire and death. Explosions lit the darkness. The sound of breaking hulls and dying engines filled every channel. For the first time, the aliens fought well. They coordinated, focused fire, used their remaining numbers effectively. They destroyed human ships, hundreds of them. For the first time, humans were bleeding. But humans did not break. They did not run. They fought harder. Every ship lost made them more determined. Every friend killed made them more dangerous. The aliens were fighting for pride, for dominance, for glory. Humans were fighting for home. After 12 hours, the alien fleet broke. The remaining ships turned and ran. They jumped to faster than light and fled. Of the 5,000 ships that started the journey, less than 800 survived. The war was over. Humanity had won.